Chapter 25-22. Overflowing Luck, Origin Spirit Beast. The giant beast rushed out, even causing Lin Moyu to be slightly stunned. Previously, he had used the Eye of the Undead to scan the area and had not detected the presence of the giant beast. It seemed he had missed it.
It seems the Eye of the Undead can't be fully trusted.
Lin Moyu knew that Origin power could block the Eye of the Undead, causing it to sometimes fail. The giant beast had an unusual shape, looking like a leopard but with 4 huge tentacles on its back, resembling some kind of insect. It had been hidden inside the mountain, awakened by the aura of the Origin crystals, and directly charged towards them. Origin crystals have a tremendous attraction to all living beings on the Origin continent, especially such high-quality Origin crystals. Their attraction is unimaginable. The first Dragon Cavalry Corps commander reacted extremely quickly. Before Lin Moyu could issue an order, he had already swung his battle knife. A massive force swept out, directly blasting the giant beast away. The giant beast stopped in midair, screamed, and charged again. Taking advantage of this moment, the first Dragon Cavalry Corps commander had already collected all the Origin crystals back into the storage ring. Seeing the Origin crystals disappear, the giant beast screamed even more frantically, its 4 tentacles extending quickly like whips. The first Dragon Cavalry Corps commander was not afraid at all, wielding his large knife and launching a death charge. His speed was as fast as lightning, once again knocking the giant beast away. Lin Moyu could see that the giant beast's strength was slightly stronger than a low-level Heavenly Venerate but slightly weaker than a mid-level Heavenly Venerate. In terms of combat power, the first Dragon Cavalry Corps commander completely suppressed it, leaving the giant beast with no ability to resist. However, its defense was extremely strong. Even the attacks of the first Dragon Cavalry Corps commander could only cause some small wounds. Xiao Yu's beautiful eyes sparkled.
Master's summoned creature is so powerful.
Lin Moyu said.
Number 1, stop playing around. Finish it quickly. Yes, Master.
The first Dragon Cavalry Corps commander responded. In the next second, the rule world belonging to the first Dragon Cavalry Corps commander unfolded. In his rule world, there was a battlefield like a cemetery, where countless Dragon Cavalry troops were resting. At this moment, the battlefield opened, and the Dragon Cavalry troops instantly awakened and charged out from the battlefield. In an instant, the Dragon Cavalry troops flooded the surroundings from all directions. The sky and the ground, every corner was filled with Dragon Cavalry troops. Each Dragon Cavalry had the combat power of a low-level Heavenly Venerate, and their bodies were about 10 meters tall. If needed, they could grow to 10,000 meters. The first Dragon Cavalry Corps commander had his own thoughts. To deal with a mere giant beast, there was no need to deploy all the Dragon Cavalry troops. Out of 10 million Dragon Cavalry troops, he only deployed 1/10,000th, just 1,000 Dragon Cavalry troops, which was enough to surround the area tightly. The giant beast was surrounded by layers of Dragon Cavalry troops, countless layers, making it impossible to count. The giant beast, trapped in the encirclement, was stunned, its entire body bristling, and its large eyes clearly showing fear. Xiao Yu was also stunned.
Master, are these also your summoned creatures?
Lin Moyu smiled.
These are its subordinates.
Xiao Yu was shocked.
How can there be so many?
Is this a lot? It's just 1/10,000th. And this is only the first Dragon Cavalry Corps commander. There are still 2,999 other commanders. Lin Moyu smiled and didn't answer. Xiao Wu was still integrating the Origin crystal. Otherwise, this little guy would definitely sell him out. The giant beast's entire body suddenly glowed, brilliant light shooting towards the sky, coloring the sky in various hues. At the same time, a piercing scream echoed through the heavens and earth. Xiao Yu exclaimed and covered her ears. Xiao Yu was still an ordinary person and couldn't withstand any battle aftermath. Lin Moyu waved his hand, and a force enveloped Xiao Yu, shielding her from the sound waves. Invisible force rippled like waves from the giant beast, spreading in all directions, preventing the Dragon Cavalry troops from approaching.
Is it calling for help?
Lin Moyu thought to himself. His thought was quickly confirmed as a powerful aura rapidly approached from afar.
A high-level heavenly venerate.
Lin Moyu looked up and saw a giant beast, 1,000 meters tall, rapidly approaching from the distant sky. It was covered in scales, with a slender and robust body, exuding an indescribable beauty. The number of tentacles on its body had increased to 16, each one extremely thick. Under its belly, there were 2 pairs of sharp claws, gleaming with a sharp light. The aura of a high-level heavenly venerate swept over like a tidal wave. Lin Moyu felt a bit helpless.
Really, beat the small one, and the big one comes.
The 1st Dragon Cavalry Corps commander couldn't defeat a high-level heavenly venerate. Even if all 10 million Dragon Cavalry troops were deployed, it would be difficult to confront a high-level heavenly venerate head-on. At best, they could hold the opponent for a while, but they would eventually be killed. Moreover, the opponent's combat power was unknown and might surpass that of an ordinary high-level heavenly venerate. Before Lin Moyu could issue an order, the 1st Dragon Cavalry Corps commander had already charged forward. More Dragon Cavalry troops rushed out, led by a captain, launching a death charge at the approaching giant beast. Boom! In the massive collision, the Dragon Cavalry troops collapsed on the spot, while the giant beast was unaffected, breaking into the encirclement like a hot knife through butter, firmly protecting the smaller giant beast, as if protecting its child. The disparity in strength was evident. The 1st Dragon Cavalry Corps commander reacted quickly, summoning more Dragon Cavalry troops to surround them tightly. Lin Moyu's mind moved, and Chung Hongguang appeared beside him. Lin Moyu asked,
Do you recognize these 2 creatures?
Chung Hongguang looked and immediately responded,
Yes. Explain in detail.
Chung Hongguang said,
They are called Lingshu insect beasts, a type of origin spirit beast.
Origin spirit beast. Lin Moyu was shocked.
Are they the origin spirit beasts that can nurture and evolve origin spirit veins?
Chung Hongguang nodded.
Yes. Wow, to encounter origin spirit beasts here.
Lin Moyu took a deep breath, marveling at his own luck. Encountering such rare origin spirit beasts, and not just 1 but 2. Xiao Yu was very curious about the suddenly appearing uncle.
Master, what are origin spirit beasts?
Lin Moyu smiled.
Chung Hongguang, you explain.
Chung Hongguang explained in detail.
Origin spirit beasts are very rare spirit beasts that can evolve origin spirit veins each time they appear.
Chung Hongguang explained meticulously, answering all of Xiao Yu's questions. Lin Moyu first learned about origin spirit beasts from Waterstop Heavenly Venerate. To establish oneself on the origin continent and create a sect or force, one needs origin spirit veins. There are many ways to produce origin spirit veins, such as possessing sentient origin crystals, naturally nurtured origin spirit veins, and some super sects using secret methods to nurture origin spirit veins. Among them, one way is through origin spirit beasts. There are countless spirit beasts on the origin continent, and among them are origin spirit beasts. Origin spirit beasts are extremely rare and will nurture origin spirit veins under special conditions. Many people never see an origin spirit beast in their lifetime. But once an origin spirit beast is discovered, it will inevitably become the target of various forces. Lin Moyu never expected to encounter origin spirit beasts. There are many types of origin spirit beasts, each requiring different conditions. The Lingshu insect beast in front of him had conditions that Chung Hongguang happened to know. Lingshu insect beasts like to eat origin crystals. As long as they eat enough origin crystals, they will undergo metamorphosis. During metamorphosis, they will shed their old shell and nurture a new one. The old shell will sink into the ground and nurture an origin spirit vein. The stronger the Lingshu insect beast during metamorphosis, the higher the quality of the origin spirit vein it nurtures. Looking at the 2 Lingshu insect beasts, one large and one small, Lin Moyu had already made up his mind. He must keep these 2 creatures and not let them go. 2523 2523. Chapter 25-23. Deceiving the small one, then deceiving the big one.
Origin spirit beasts are truly valuable. I need to find a way to keep them. If I miss this chance, who knows when I'll encounter them again. But how can I keep them? Killing them is not an option. It's quite a headache.
The smaller one is easier to deal with as its strength is below that of a mid-level heavenly venerate, and Lin Moyu has ways to trap it. However, the bigger one, with combat power comparable to a high-level heavenly venerate, is harder to trap than to kill. Lin Moyu looked at Cheng Hongguang.
Do you have any ideas?
Cheng Hongguang straightforwardly said,
I can perish together with the bigger one. That's nonsense. If I wanted mutual destruction, I wouldn't need you.
Lin Moyu snorted.
I mean, do you have any way to trap it?
Cheng Hongguang thought for a moment and still straightforwardly said,
No.
At this moment, the Lingshu insect beasts were rampaging, and the encirclement formed by the dragon cavalry corps looked like a balloon bulging everywhere, ready to burst at any moment. Many dragon cavalry soldiers died under the attacks of the Lingshu insect beasts. Their tentacles contained astonishing origin power, making it difficult for the dragon cavalry corps to resist. However, the first corps commander was very capable, constantly adjusting the formation and counterattacking, temporarily holding the line. Lin Moyu squinted his eyes and noticed that the bigger Lingshu insect beast was always protecting the smaller one, not wanting it to get hurt. An idea gradually formed in his mind. At this moment, Xiao Yu's weak voice sounded,
Master, it seems to care a lot about its child. If we can trap its child, wouldn't we be able to trap it too?
Lin Moyu laughed heartily.
Xiao Yu is right, that could work.
What Xiao Yu said coincided with his own thoughts. Without killing them, the only way to trap them was to use this method. Lin Moyu had already thought of a plan and said to Cheng Hongguang,
Separate them.
Without a word, Cheng Hongguang turned into a flash of lightning and charged into the battlefield. As a high-level heavenly venerate, his combat power far surpassed that of the dragon cavalry corps. The power of a high-level heavenly venerate erupted, and he engaged in a fierce battle with the Lingshu insect beast. The Lingshu insect beast was very powerful, and Cheng Hongguang couldn't defeat it, so his earlier statement about mutual destruction was not just talk. The bigger Lingshu insect beast was hindered by its need to protect its child, making it somewhat restrained, and it couldn't deal with Cheng Hongguang effectively for the moment. Lin Moyu said to the First Corps commander,
Help Cheng Hongguang separate them.
The First Corps commander immediately began maneuvering on the battlefield. He didn't let the Dragon Cavalry Corps take action but led 10 captains to look for opportunities. In the Dragon Cavalry Corps, only he and the 10 captains were mid-level heavenly venerates and could somewhat resist the Lingshu insect beast's attacks. At this moment, the advantage of having intelligence was fully revealed. With intelligence, they could think of countermeasures based on Lin Moyu's orders and formulate action plans. There was no need for Lin Moyu to command every step, making their combat methods much more flexible. However, the bigger Lingshu insect beast was very vigilant and didn't show any flaws. Lin Moyu's mind moved, and he suddenly pointed at the Lingshu insect beasts. Origin level spell. Time Curse. Time Curse, origin level, invokes the Great Tao of Time, using the power of time as a blade to curse the target, causing severe damage to the target's soul and plunging it into a state of temporal chaos. The Great Tao of Time suddenly appeared. This was the first time Lin Moyu used the Time Curse on the Origin continent. The Great Tao of Time descended with infinite power, cursing the target according to Lin Moyu's will. The power of time turned into a blade, slicing into the soul world of the Lingshu insect beasts. Both the big and small Lingshu insect beast souls were affected, plunging into chaos.
Separate them now.
Under Lin Moyu's command, Cheng Hongguang and the First Corps commander seized the opportunity and acted simultaneously. Given the strength of the bigger Lingshu insect beast, the effect of the time curse would last at most half a second. They only had a moment to act. The First Corps commander launched a death charge, crashing heavily into the bigger Lingshu insect beast with lightning speed. Cheng Hongguang also used all his strength, unleashing a massive palm strike. With their combined efforts, the bigger Lingshu insect beast was finally shaken off, and the smaller Lingshu insect beast was exposed. At this moment, the 10 captains of the 1st Dragon Cavalry Corps rushed over, their bodies rapidly enlarging, and with multiple hands and feet, they grabbed the smaller Lingshu insect beast. The smaller Lingshu insect beast was still in a state of temporal chaos, completely unaware of what was happening. The Star Enchantress Lich flew out, and Lin Moyu simultaneously flicked a drop of ancestral water onto the Star Enchantress Lich. The Star Enchantress Lich's aura surged, and it used the Great Tao of Illusion to envelop the smaller Lingshu insect beast. In the eyes of the smaller Lingshu insect beast, countless origin crystals appeared, and it let out an excited screech. Lin Moyu's rule world unfolded, and the smaller Lingshu insect beast directly rushed into the rule world, where it saw countless origin crystals. The bigger Lingshu insect beast reacted and quickly rushed over, but when it approached the rule world, it hesitated. Lin Moyu laughed.
If you want to save your child, go inside.
Lin Moyu's plan was to lure both of them into his rule world and trap them using the rule world. In the rule world, he had the home advantage and could control the situation. Chang Hongguang and the 1st Corps commander surrounded from the other side to prevent the bigger Lingshu insect beast from escaping. Lin Moyu wanted both Lingshu insect beasts and didn't plan to let either of them go. The bigger Lingshu insect beast was still hesitating. It seemed afraid to enter but also anxious about its child's safety. At this moment, a screech came from the rule world, a cry for help identical to the one the smaller Lingshu insect beast had made earlier. Hearing its child's cry for help, the bigger Lingshu insect beast couldn't hold back any longer and rushed in. Lin Moyu had already observed that while the Lingshu insect beasts had some intelligence, it wasn't much. The Great Tao is fair. It gives you immense power but takes away some other things. In the rule world, in a starry sky, there was a special planet spinning alone. The planet was barren with nothing on it. Within 100,000 light years around the planet, there was also nothing. On the planet, a Lingshu insect beast less than 100 meters long was happily eating origin crystals. This time, it wasn't an illusion but real origin crystals that Lin Moyu had given it. Although they were just ordinary first-order origin crystals, the Lingshu insect beast wasn't picky. It was happy as long as it had something to eat. It was eating happily when suddenly a hole appeared in the starry sky, and the bigger Lingshu insect beast flew in. Sensing its mother's presence, the smaller Lingshu insect beast let out a joyful cry, as if greeting her and inviting her to join in the feast. Seeing its child safe and eating origin crystals, the bigger Lingshu insect beast showed a look of confusion. How could there be such a good thing in the world? In its memory, every time it appeared, it was chased and attacked by a group of people. While it was confused, Lin Moyu's voice suddenly sounded.
Can we communicate?
Turning its head, the bigger Lingshu insect beast saw Lin Moyu and immediately became vigilant, showing a fierce expression towards him. Lin Moyu smiled slightly.
No need to be nervous. I don't intend to harm you. If I really wanted to harm you, you should know you wouldn't be able to escape.
As he spoke, Lin Moyu's mind moved, and countless dragon cavalry soldiers appeared densely in the starry sky, along with the Skeleton King. The bigger Lingshu insect beast immediately bristled and began to screech sharply, as if issuing a warning. At this moment, Chang Hongguang appeared beside Lin Moyu, followed by the high-level Heavenly Venerate Insect Mother. As soon as the Insect Mother appeared, it released its final form, exuding a terrifying aura. The bigger Lingshu insect beast let out a terrified cry and kept retreating.
So you're afraid of the insect race?
Lin Moyu chuckled, then put away all his forces, and the starry sky instantly returned to tranquility. Lin Moyu continued to express his goodwill.
I said I have no ill intentions.
2524 Chapter 2524. Truly struck it rich. The origin spirit beast, which somewhat resembles an insect, is actually afraid of the insect race. This was unexpected. But since it's afraid, that's a good thing. At least I know how to deal with it. Now, both the large and small Lingshu insect beasts are trapped in the rule world. Next, it will be easy to reform them. Lin Moyu once again expressed his intention.
I have no ill intentions.
However, the Lingshu insect beasts clearly didn't understand Lin Moyu's words.
There's no way to communicate. They have such strong abilities but no intelligence. Truly, the great Tao is fair. This is too fair.
The more gifted one is, the harder it is to awaken intelligence. This has become an accepted rule. In the great world, it was like this, and on the origin continent, it remains the same. Although communication is impossible, the large Lingshu insect beast has calmed down. It landed on the star, standing beside the small Lingshu insect beast. Seeing its child happily eating origin crystals, the mother didn't stop it. However, it didn't eat any itself. It's unclear whether it didn't like the low-grade origin crystals or was just being cautious. Lin Moyu thought for a moment and threw 2 high-quality 4th-order origin crystals over. The small Lingshu insect beast immediately cheered and switched its focus to the 4th-order origin crystals. The way the Lingshu insect beasts eat origin crystals is quite unique. They don't eat directly with their mouths but use their whiskers to scrape some powder off the origin crystals and then inhale the powder through their noses. The tips of their whiskers have dense tiny teeth that can scrape powder from the origin crystals. However, the 4th-order origin crystals are very hard, and they can only scrape a little bit at a time. A single 4th-order origin crystal can last them a long time. The small Lingshu insect beast ate happily, but the large one still didn't move, resisting the temptation of the origin crystals. However, Lin Moyu felt it was already tempted. Lin Moyu thought for a moment and took out a high-quality 5th-order origin crystal, throwing it to the large Lingshu insect beast. This time, it couldn't resist. Facing the enormous temptation of a high-quality 5th-order origin crystal, it finally moved.
That's more like it.
Lin Moyu smiled slightly. It's good that you're eating. I was afraid you wouldn't take the bait. As the saying goes, once you eat someone's food, you become more compliant. Just like how stray dogs and cats are gradually tamed by being fed, Lin Moyu wanted to tame these beasts to use them for himself. By feeding them origin crystals, he could help them evolve and transform, and in return, they would nurture origin spirit veins for him.
If only we could communicate.
Lin Moyu thought of the spirit flowers, but unfortunately, they could only be used on members of the Undead Legion. Unless he killed them, turned them into resurrected beings, and then used the spirit flowers for a second nurturing to give them intelligence. However, doing so might lose their ability to nurture origin spirit veins, which would be a significant loss. Lin Moyu didn't want to take that risk. After leaving 10 4th-order origin crystals and 10 5th-order origin crystals, Lin Moyu turned and left. This is his rule world. No matter what happens, he will know immediately. Here, he has enough power to control everything, and the Lingshu insect beasts can't cause any trouble. Returning to the core area of the rule world, Lin Moyu began to inventory his gains under the world tree. There were only 3 things in the origin secret treasury: killing intent, inheritance, and origin crystals. The killing intent and inheritance belonged to Gun Yenshui, while the origin crystals belonged to Lin Moyu. Additionally, there was a secret technique for manipulating killing intent. This secret technique came from the Horned Jiao Star Lord's inheritance and was called
Heaven-splitting slash.
Its effect is to gather killing intent into a weapon. As long as the killing intent is strong enough, the weapon's power is nearly limitless, capable of splitting the heavens. The number of origin crystals in the origin secret treasury was considerable, forming a small mountain, all of high quality, including both 4th and 5th order crystals. Perhaps the Horned Jiao Star Lord's level was too high, and he didn't care for low-grade origin crystals, not even ordinary ones. Only high-quality origin crystals caught his eye. There were 220 4th-order origin crystals in total, including the 32 Lin Moyu obtained himself and subtracting the 10 left for the Lingshu insect beasts. Lin Moyu now had 242 4th-order origin crystals. There were fewer 5th-order origin crystals, totaling 106. This is an enormous fortune, something the Blue family of Linhai City couldn't even dream of. Even the Huang family of Guanhai City, which is stronger, couldn't come up with such a sum. Based on Lin Moyu's current understanding of the origin continent, forces below 5 stars would find it very difficult to gather so many high-quality origin crystals.
Truly struck it rich.
Lin Moyu thought to himself, putting away the origin crystals and starting to study the heaven-splitting slash. There are 2 types of techniques. Those awakened naturally during cultivation, like Lin Moyu's techniques, which are innate and belong to one's life techniques. The other type is learned later, not naturally understood, and is called secret techniques, like the soul-splitting technique of the dragon race. Secret techniques can be either techniques that form technique stars or simply methods of use that don't form technique stars. The heaven-splitting slash is a method of manipulating killing intent and doesn't require forming a technique star. Many major sects have such secret techniques that don't require forming technique stars to master. After learning them, one can combine them with their life techniques to form their own combat system. Many people's life techniques and acquired secret techniques complement each other. The compatibility between life techniques and secret techniques can sometimes affect a practitioner's combat power within the same realm. Mastering the heaven-splitting slash wasn't difficult for Lin Moyu. After reading it a few times, he already had some understanding. The first step is to refine the killing intent, making it pure. The second step is to gather the killing intent into a weapon, which can take various forms depending on the user's will. The entire process isn't complicated but requires some time. Lin Moyu multitasked, refining his killing intent while also paying attention to the Legion commanders constructing their rule worlds. After so many days, the rule worlds of these Legion commanders were nearing completion. The intelligent Dragon Cavalry Corps was about to be born, and their combat power would soon surpass the Skeleton King, becoming the strongest force under Lin Moyu's command. On the origin continent, in the southern continent, near the vast southwestern region. Here, countless forces and strong individuals exist, but no matter which force, they all ultimately fall under the control of the Coldwater Holy Land. The Coldwater Holy Land is the uncrowned king of this region. No matter how other forces fight or how strong they are, once the Coldwater Holy Land speaks, all forces in this region must obey. In the Coldwater Holy Land, Gu Nianshui, who was cultivating the Horned Jiao Star-Lord's inheritance, suddenly stopped. Her beautiful eyes opened, shining brightly.
Senior Lin, you finally opened the storage ring. How do you like the heaven-splitting slash? Now you can't escape. When we meet again in the future, you'll be greatly surprised.
2525, 2525. Chapter 2525. The Ever-Changing Origin Continent. Xiao Wu finally finished integrating the origin crystal, and an illusory Great Tao appeared, completing the connection between the Law of Fortune and the Great Tao. Xiao Wu exclaimed,
So this is the Great Tao. It really seems stronger than the Law of the Star River.
Lin Moyu couldn't help but laugh.
The Law of the Star River is just a part of the Great Tao's power in the Great World, combined with its own evolution. The Great Tao is naturally stronger than the Law of the Star River, and not just by a little.
Xiao Wu pouted.
But using the Great Tao is so exhausting, much more tiring than manipulating the Law of the Star River.
Lin Moyu smiled.
That's natural. With greater power comes greater effort in manipulation. Moreover, the origin continent has many restrictions and strict rules, so the consumption is naturally higher. But it doesn't matter. When Xiao Wu becomes stronger and fully adapts, it will get better.
Xiao Wu nodded.
All right, I'll work hard to adapt. Master, when you have time, take Xiao Wu with you more often so I can adapt better.
Lin Moyu looked at Xiao Wu with a half-smile.
I think you just want to play outside.
Xiao Wu stuck out her tongue.
I've played enough in the Great World. I want to play in the origin continent too. Besides, I can be with Xiao Yu and help Master take care of her, killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Lin Moyu patted Xiao Wu's head.
You have a point. For now, I'll give you a task. Use the power of the Great Tao to observe the general trend of fortune.
The Law of Fortune can observe the changes in fortune in the world and find auspicious places. Xiao Wu asked.
Does Master have any specific requirements?
Lin Moyu said.
I want to find an auspicious place in the origin continent.
Xiao Wu's eyes sparkled.
Is Master planning to become a mountain king?
Lin Moyu lightly tapped Xiao Wu's head.
Not a mountain king, but to settle down and establish a foundation.
Xiao Wu was puzzled.
Master, haven't you always liked to be alone?
Lin Moyu shook his head.
The origin continent is different from the great world, and I'm not alone anymore. I need a place to settle. Stop talking nonsense and start looking.
With that, he tapped Xiao Wu's head again, making her yelp.
Stop hitting me, you'll make me dumb.
Xiao Wu covered her head and began to communicate with the great Tao, using its power to find an auspicious place. The formation of fortune is complex, and even Xiao Wu can't fully explain it. Not to mention Xiao Wu, even those who comprehend the law of fortune can't fully explain it. The auspicious place seen through the great Tao might turn into a dead zone due to some changes. There might also be hidden dangers within certain fortunes. This can only be seen in general terms. Lin Moyu didn't expect Xiao Wu to find it immediately, just a general direction. While Xiao Wu communicated with the great Tao, Lin Moyu took out a map. The map was part of Cheng Hongguang's legacy, depicting part of the southern continent's terrain. The origin continent is vast, and the southern continent alone is enormous. The terrain is treacherous and ever-changing. Cheng Hongguang's map only covers about 1/3 of the southern continent. Fortunately, the nearby areas are included in the map. A peculiar aura rose from Xiao Wu, making her presence seem illusory, as if she didn't exist in this space. Xiao Yu was surprised.
Why do I feel like Sister Xiao Wu is watching us from the sky?
Lin Moyu laughed.
Indeed, she's up in the sky now.
Xiao Wu communicated with the great Tao, turning the law of fortune into her eyes, overlooking the world. Xiao Yu didn't understand Lin Moyu's words, but still flattered.
Sister Xiao Wu is amazing.
Lin Moyu said.
You can do this too in the future.
Xiao Yu's eyes sparkled.
Really? As long as you don't slack off.
Xiao Yu immediately raised her hand and swore.
Master, I promise I won't slack off.
After all, she's only 15, and her temperament hasn't fully settled. Previously, due to a difficult life, Xiao Yu became silent, but playing with Xiao Wu these days has gradually brought back her true nature. Lin Moyu thought it was good. True nature shouldn't be suppressed. Otherwise, it might backfire and damage one's state of mind. Moments later, Xiao Wu's aura returned, ending her communication with the great Tao. Her first words upon returning were a sigh.
Wow, the origin continent is so big, bigger than several star systems combined.
In the origin continent, without the use of space gates, speed is limited, making it extremely difficult to traverse. In the Great World, Lin Moyu could cross several star systems with one space gate. Lin Moyu asked,
How much did you see?
Xiao Wu replied,
I don't know how much, but I didn't see the end. Did you find the auspicious place I asked for? Of course, Master, I always complete your tasks. Show me the specific location.
Lin Moyu unfolded the map and held it in front of Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu compared the map with what she had just seen and murmured.
This map is a bit off. What's wrong? The terrain is wrong. There are no mountains here, and there's no lake here.
Xiao Wu pointed out over a dozen errors on the map in one breath. Some mountains marked on the map had disappeared, and some places that seemed like plains had turned into mountains and lakes. Lin Moyu frowned.
Has the terrain changed so drastically?
He summoned Cheng Hongguang.
When was this map made?
Cheng Hongguang thought for a moment.
About 5,000 years ago.
In just 5,000 years, the terrain shouldn't have changed so drastically. Based on his experience in the Great World, such terrain changes usually take hundreds of thousands of years. Lin Moyu asked,
Has the terrain of the origin continent changed so drastically?
Cheng Hongguang explained,
In the origin continent, places without origin spirit veins experience significant terrain changes, with noticeable changes every few hundred years.
After Cheng Hongguang's explanation, Lin Moyu understood why establishing a sect requires an origin spirit vein. In the origin continent, places with origin spirit veins have stable terrain. Places without origin spirit veins have ever-changing terrain, making it impossible to settle. The closer to an origin spirit vein, the more stable the terrain. Cheng Hongguang pointed to a massive mountain range on the map.
This is where the cold water Holy Land is located. Beneath it lies an eighth-order origin spirit vein, extending for billions of miles.
He then pointed to several other places, where various sects and cities are located.
These sects and cities are built on the origin spirit vein of the cold water Holy Land. Without it, they wouldn't exist.
Lin Moyu fully understood. The cold water Holy Land is called a holy land not only because of its strength but also because of the terrifying eighth-order origin spirit vein beneath it. The forces dependent on it rely on the cold water Holy Land's origin spirit vein. 2526 Chapter 25-26 Origin Spirit Vein Desire to Establish a Sect. The eighth-order origin spirit vein of the cold water Holy Land is like a divine dragon, meandering beneath the origin continent, radiating over billions of miles. The entire origin spirit vein forms countless branches, each of which suppresses the mountain and river veins, creating stable terrain and feng shui treasures filled with origin power. Various sects and cities are established on these branches, forming their own forces. They rely on the cold water Holy Land and naturally have to listen to it. Otherwise, they are courting death. Besides origin power, the origin spirit vein also contains fortune. This is why the Huang family of Guanhai City is eager to annex Linhai City. It's not just for the extra segment of the origin spirit vein, but also for the fortune within it. More spirit veins means stronger fortune. Fortune influences cultivation, and strong fortune might allow the Huang family to produce a Dao Venerate. What the Huang family lacks now is a Dao Venerate. They have been aspiring to become a four-star force for many years. Within the coverage of the cold water Holy Land's eighth-order spirit vein, there are also some independent origin spirit veins occupied by various forces. These forces are not weak. Although they are not as strong as the cold water Holy Land, they also possess powerful spirit veins. Many forces are dependent on them, but they also have to follow the orders of the cold water Holy Land. Otherwise, the cold water Holy Land will teach them a lesson. Lin Moyu thought for a moment.
It seems impossible to find a good place within the range controlled by the cold water Holy Land. Xiao Wu, are there any good places outside the coverage of the cold water Holy Land's spirit vein?
Xiao Wu nodded.
Of course there are.
As she spoke, Xiao Wu marked several points on the map she had seen. These places are all strong in fortune. Most of them already have owners, with only a few being unclaimed. Lin Moyu thought for a moment.
Let's go and have a look. Maybe we can find a suitable place.
If he could find a place with strong fortune and allow the Lingshu insect beasts to transform and evolve to nurture an origin spirit vein, he could settle down. An origin spirit vein can suppress fortune, and fortune can enhance the origin spirit vein. The two complement each other and are indispensable. Lin Moyu asked Cheng Hongguang,
Is there any other way to obtain a piece of land to establish a sect on the origin continent?
Lin Moyu was referring to non-violent methods, as he didn't want to clash with the local forces of the origin continent for now. Although he wasn't afraid, there was no need. Of course, if someone provoked him, Lin Moyu wouldn't be polite and would kill if necessary. Cheng Hongguang said,
You can buy it from a merchant association. Some large merchant associations occasionally sell land containing origin spirit veins.
Lin Moyu asked curiously,
Won't the purchased land be attacked by others?
Cheng Hongguang replied,
The purchased land will be protected by the merchant association for a certain period. Not only will the merchant association protect it, but the original owner of the land will also protect the buyer.
Lin Moyu murmured,
Land with origin spirit veins can be bought and sold. How interesting.
He realized the benefits of the resurrected. From Cheng Hongguang's mouth, he could get a lot of useful information. Although Cheng Hongguang's memory was incomplete, he still remembered most things. Having Chung Hongguang was like having a dedicated guide on the origin continent, making many things less confusing. Lin Moyu selected a few places. The journey was long, and he calculated that it would take about a month to reach them if the journey went smoothly. Lin Moyu thought for a moment and directly threw the little ox out of the great world. The little ox was sleeping soundly and was suddenly thrown onto the origin continent, landing with a thud, startling it.
Which bastard dares to disturb Master Ox's sleep?
The little ox shouted loudly. In the next moment, the aura of the origin continent poured into its body from all directions, rendering it immobile. Xiao Yu squinted her eyes.
The little ox must be hurt.
In the past few days, she had become friends with both Xiao Wu and the little ox. Xiao Wu said,
It's fine. The little ox has thick skin and flesh. It won't get hurt from such a fall.
Xiao Yu innocently asked.
Oh, really?
Xiao Wu nodded seriously.
Don't worry. It's a supreme, so it won't get hurt from such a fall.
The little ox was now a high-level supreme, and such a fall indeed wouldn't hurt it much. Once it was acknowledged by the origin continent, the little ox jumped up with a thud. Just as it was about to lose its temper, it saw Lin Moyu and the others. Its limbs bent, and the whole ox body knelt in front of Lin Moyu with a flattering expression.
So it's you.
Lin Moyu didn't stand on ceremony and threw it 2 high-quality 4th-order origin crystals.
We need to travel far. You will be Xiao Wu and Xiao Yu's mount. Absorb and integrate these 2 origin crystals as we go, no rush. Little ox, is there any problem with this arrangement?
The little ox didn't dare to have any objections and nodded its big head quickly.
No problem, of course, no problem. The little ox is the most obedient.
Lin Moyu said.
Then let's go.
Xiao Wu happily pulled Xiao Yu onto the little ox's back. The little ox's back was broad enough for 2 people to sit. Moreover, the little ox generated a suction force, firmly holding the 2 on its back, ensuring they remained steady no matter how bumpy the ride. Xiao Yu was just an ordinary person and couldn't walk far. The little ox was naturally the best mount. Xiao Wu curiously asked,
Master, why don't you put us in the real world and fly directly?
Lin Moyu said,
Since we're new here, I want to take a good look at the origin continent. Some things are best seen with your own eyes. There are several big cities along the way. We can visit them and broaden our horizons. Who knows, we might encounter some opportunities along the way. When you have time, you can communicate with the great Tao of Fortune to see if there are any places with strong fortune. We can try our luck.
Xiao Wu laughed loudly.
Sure. When we enter a big city, can you buy some fun things for me?
Lin Moyu smiled.
Of course, not only fun things but also delicious ones.
The group set off. Lin Moyu multitasked, first checking on the Lingshu insect beasts. The large and small Lingshu insect beasts were still eating the origin crystals. They ate slowly, not even finishing 1 origin crystal, and could eat for a long time. Then Lin Moyu split his consciousness and descended in front of the human emperor's main body. The human emperor reacted immediately, opening the main door.
Lord, why have you come?
Lin Moyu said,
I have something to discuss with you. Please speak.
The human emperor responded immediately. Lin Moyu looked at the mysterious instruments flashing and jumping inside the human emperor's main body, feeling another kind of mysterious aura. The path of technological cultivation is vastly different from the orthodox path of cultivation, yet it can still lead to the Great Tao. The unity of the Great Tao is not just an empty phrase. Lin Moyu explained his thoughts to the human emperor.
I want to find a suitable place on the origin continent to establish a sect and build my own force. When the time comes, I will find a way to bring you out. I might also need you to manage the sect. The set of rules in the great world feels good to me and can also be applied on the origin continent.
The human emperor said,
The Lord always thinks of us. It's not necessary to go to such lengths.
Lin Moyu shook his head.
I also have selfish motives. To reach the highest point in cultivation on the origin continent, one must have the support of fortune. Fighting alone will only become more difficult as time goes on. So establishing a sect is beneficial not only to you but also to me. I will tell you everything I see and hear along the way for your data analysis.
2527 Chapter 25-27 Xiao Yu awakens her talent. Lin Moyu had already informed the human emperor about the situation on the Origin continent, forming a preliminary database. Now, he also shared the new information he had gathered with the human emperor. Not only that, but he also brought the resurrected Chang Hongguang, Qin Huayuan, and others directly to the human emperor. Through them, the human emperor could obtain a vast amount of information about the Origin continent. With the human emperor's abilities, he could quickly organize a set of methods suitable for establishing a foothold on the Origin continent. In just a few days, the human emperor had analyzed and organized a large amount of information and provided feedback to Lin Moyu. Cultivating on the Origin continent is not difficult, and the probability of becoming a heavenly venerate is extremely high. Even those with average talent can become heavenly venerates as long as they have sufficient resources. There are two reasons for this. One is that the Origin continent has rich and complete inheritances, ensuring that people do not go astray in their cultivation. The second reason is the abundance of resources, including a large number of origin crystals and various cultivation treasures. The two major origins, the sun and the moon, can provide cultivators with ample power sources. As long as one is not too unlucky or too foolish, there is hope of becoming a heavenly venerate. Even if one does not become a heavenly venerate, becoming a supreme is no problem at all. Therefore, the number of heavenly venerates on the Origin continent is quite large, and there are even more supremes, as numerous as the hairs on an ox. However, becoming a Tao venerate is not so easy. To become a Tao venerate, one must overcome many thresholds, one of which is fortune. After reading this information, Lin Moyu thought of those heavenly venerates who went to the Boundary Sea to compete for worlds. Each world in the Boundary Sea, seemingly insignificant, is actually a force with great fortune. When these worlds form world-class origins, they provide heavenly venerates with the power to ascend, also enhancing their fortune. The ability to become a Tao venerate is not only due to the power of the origin but also the power of fortune. Thus, Lin Moyu realized that establishing a force and gathering great fortune is crucial. This is beneficial not only for himself but also for the cultivators in the great world.
My idea should be correct. Most Tao venerates on the Origin continent have powerful forces behind them. The number of rogue Tao venerates is extremely small. Even if there are any, they possess great fortune. For example, the inheritance of the Horned Jiao Star Lord obtained by Gunyan Shui is, in a sense, a form of fortune enhancement. The Star Lord inheritance includes not only the inheritance and treasures but also, most importantly, fortune.
Lin Moyu understood that what Gunyan Shui obtained was not just an inheritance but also the fortune belonging to the Star Lord. The Cold Water Holy Land could become a holy land because its fortune was already strong enough. Now, with the inheritance of the Horned Jiao Star Lord, their fortune will become even stronger. Coupled with the suppression of the Eighth Order Origin Spirit Vein, Gunyan Shui's cultivation will surely progress smoothly and rapidly. It won't be long before the Cold Water Holy Land produces another powerful figure, one who brings slaughter. Lin Moyu felt a slight sense of caution, wondering if the Cold Water Holy Land would come looking for him to settle accounts in 10 years. After all, he had somewhat tricked Gunyan Shui.
I must be on guard.
Lin Moyu sighed lightly. Although offending the Cold Water Holy Land was unwise, he would still do the same if given another chance. If he were to be overly cautious and hesitant, he would not be himself. After traveling for more than 10 days, they were far from Guanhai City and Linhai City. Lin Moyu knew nothing about the news from the two cities, nor did he need to know. Whether the Huang family could become the new rulers of Linhai City was not important to him. They crossed many high mountains and arrived at the bank of a great river. This river, named the Cold River, originates from the Eighth Order Origin Spirit Vein of the Cold Water Holy Land. The origin power in the river is boiling, and along the river, there are many branches of the origin spirit vein. Many sects and forces are built along the river, relying on the origin spirit vein of the Coldwater Holy Land. However, there is an exception, the Seven-Colored Sect. The Seven-Colored Sect has its own massive origin spirit vein. No one knows the exact grade of this spirit vein. Some speculate it is 5th order, while others guess it is 6th order. This spirit vein has many branches, and the Seven-Colored Sect's 7 branches are built on 7 of these branches. In addition, some small sects also rely on the spirit vein of the Seven-Colored Sect. Although the Seven-Colored Sect has an independent spirit vein, under the deterrence of the Coldwater Holy Land, they still follow the lead of the Coldwater Holy Land. The little ox carried Xiao Wu and Xiao Yu into the river, moving upstream. The two played happily in the river, their laughter and joy never stopping along the way. They walked and rested, and Xiao Yu did not neglect her practice, practicing her boxing techniques 3 times each morning and evening. Xiao Yu's boxing techniques improved daily, and her soul realm also steadily advanced. Lin Moyu felt that Xiao Yu's strength was rapidly increasing. Originally, Lin Moyu estimated that Xiao Yu would take about a year to 2 years to break through to the transcendent realm. But now, it would take at most 5 months for Xiao Yu to reach the transcendent realm. The main reason for this rapid progress is that Xiao Yu now carries a high-quality 5th order origin crystal with her while practicing. When Xiao Yu practices her boxing techniques, the power of the origin crystal automatically integrates into her body, accelerating her cultivation speed. The effect is surprisingly good, increasing her cultivation speed several times. Using high-quality 5th order origin crystals for cultivation is a privilege even many direct disciples of major forces do not have. In addition to the origin crystal, another reason is Xiao Yu's innate jade soul. Her soul realm is inherently high, and it is crystal clear, allowing her to cultivate without any bottlenecks. Whether she is actively cultivating or not, her jade soul continuously absorbs the origin power from the origin crystal, causing her realm to advance without pause. Lin Moyu couldn't help but sigh.
Having resources is indeed good.
Under the bright moonlight by the cold river, Xiao Yu began practicing her boxing techniques again. With each punch, her momentum grew stronger. Xiao Yu had already mastered the boxing techniques thoroughly, but each practice brought new insights. As she continued practicing, sweat appeared on Xiao Yu's body, expelling impurities along with the sweat. Xiao Yu felt as if she had touched a certain boundary, as if something was blocking her path.
Master said, no matter what stands in your way, you must smash it with your fists.
Xiao Yu's eyes sharpened, and she shouted continuously, her punches growing faster and faster. At this moment, Xiao Yu fully unleashed her power, her boxing techniques faster than ever before. These boxing techniques could be fast or slow, moving with the heart with no right or wrong. The power in Xiao Yu's punches grew stronger, like cannonballs, landing on the cold river and causing huge splashes. Water columns shot up tens of meters, then fell like raindrops. Xiao Yu danced with her fists in the rain, looking like a fairy. Finally, a sound only Xiao Yu could hear rang out, and she felt the obstacle blocking her path shatter, her entire body feeling enlightened. Immediately after, she saw a star rise in her vision. For a moment, Xiao Yu's eyes sparkled like stars, and the power of the moonlight shone on her. Xiao Yu stood still, and a phantom figure appeared above her. Under the moonlight, the phantom figure began practicing boxing techniques. Seeing the phantom figure practicing under the moonlight, Lin Moyu smiled.
The Jade Soul has manifested. Xiao Yu has awakened her talent, but I wonder what this talent is.
Suddenly, a loud laugh came from afar.
A natural Jade Soul. A natural Jade Soul. I never expected to encounter one here.
Immediately after, a figure flew rapidly from the distance. 2528, 2528. Chapter 2528. The world-class 9th Order Origin Crystal. Xiao Yu awakening her talent is a joyous event, but it was also within Lin Moyu's expectations. With Xiao Yu's innate jade soul, it was inevitable for her to awaken her talent. Not awakening would be abnormal. However, He did not expect that her talent awakening would attract someone else's attention. A figure flew in from afar at an astonishing speed, arriving in an instant. Lin Moyu took a step forward, positioning himself between Xiaoyu and the newcomer, blocking the way. The newcomer was a middle-aged man wearing a green robe, with the cultivation of a mid-level heavenly venerate. Seeing the newcomer, Lin Moyu frowned slightly. Although he knew the other party had no relation to the green-robed elder, seeing the green robe still made Lin Moyu uncomfortable. After all, the green-robed elder and his wife had taken his wife as their disciple without his consent. Even if there were great benefits, it was a fact that they did so without his permission, which Lin Moyu disliked. Consequently, Lin Moyu didn't like the green-robed, middle-aged man at first glance.
What do you want?
Lin Moyu didn't even address him as a senior and directly asked. The middle-aged man ignored Lin Moyu and kept muttering,
Innate jade soul, innate jade soul.
Lin Moyu showed some impatience and raised his voice.
Who are you? What do you want?
His voice turned into a soul sound, startling the other party. The middle-aged man finally reacted and whispered,
Young man, is this young lady your friend?
Lin Moyu looked at him without answering. The middle-aged man seemed to realize his tone was inappropriate and immediately corrected himself.
I am Pingyun of the Qingyun sect.
The Qingyun sect is a subordinate of the Seven-Colored sect, part of the green branch among the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet branches. Lin Moyu asked again.
What do you want?
Pingyun replied,
I wish to take this young lady as my disciple.
Lin Moyu interrupted him.
She is my disciple. Please leave.
Pingyun was stunned, not expecting Lin Moyu to refuse so bluntly. After thinking it over, he realized that someone with an innate jade soul would naturally have a master. Pingyun didn't give up and asked again.
May I know which sect you belong to? Do you know the value of an innate jade soul?
Lin Moyu replied,
It's none of your business. If you have nothing else, please leave and don't disturb my disciple's cultivation.
Pingyun's expression turned unhappy. Although he shouldn't snatch someone else's disciple, he was just expressing his intention. If Lin Moyu disagreed, he could refuse. However, Lin Moyu's attitude was so firm that it made Pingyun feel a bit embarrassed. Generally, heavenly venerates value their reputation. At the same time, Pingyun felt that Lin Moyu seemed to have some hostility towards him, even though they had never met before. Pingyun asked in a deep voice,
Have we met before?
Lin Moyu shook his head.
This is our first meeting.
Pingyun was even more puzzled.
Then why do you have hostility towards me?
Lin Moyu replied,
I have no issue with you. I just don't like your robe.
Pingyun was stunned. Not liking his robe. Did his robe offend Lin Moyu? With some embarrassment, Pingyun asked.
What do you mean?
Lin Moyu replied,
Literally, I don't like your robe. I don't like any green robes.
Pingyun found this amusing.
You have an interesting personality.
Lin Moyu shook his head.
If you have nothing else, please leave. Don't linger in front of me, or I might lose my temper.
Pingyun didn't leave but thickened his face and said,
To be honest, I've always wanted to take a disciple but haven't found a suitable candidate. If...
Lin Moyu's gaze turned cold.
What? Do you want to snatch her?
Pingyun shook his head.
Of course not. I just want to discuss with you. If you are willing to let her go, I can offer some compensation. Moreover, I am from the Qingyun sect, which is backed by the Seven-Colored sect. This young lady, with her innate jade soul, has excellent cultivation potential. If she joins the Seven-Colored sect, her future will be limitless.
Lin Moyu suddenly laughed.
Compensation, right?
Pingyun immediately nodded.
Yes, name your price.
Lin Moyu made an outrageous demand.
Give me a world-class 9th Order origin crystal, and I'll let you take her.
Pingyun was stunned. Lin Moyu's demand was so outrageous that even a dragon wouldn't make such a demand. In the next second, he wanted to curse. A world-class ninth order origin crystal? Why don't you go rob one? Not only could he not produce one, but even the seven-colored sect couldn't. Not to mention the seven-colored sect, even the cold water Holy Land couldn't produce one. Peng Yun's mouth twitched.
Your demand is too much.
Lin Moyu sneered.
Can't produce it? Then why are you still here?
Peng Yun said.
Not only can I not produce it, but even the cold water Holy Land can't. A world-class ninth order origin crystal only exists in legends.
Lin Moyu looked disdainful.
If you don't have it, you don't have it. Stop making excuses.
Peng Yun's expression turned extremely ugly. After hesitating for a few seconds, he cupped his fists and said,
Since you are unwilling, I won't force it. Take care.
After saying that, he turned and left. Before leaving, he glanced at Xiao Yu and then at the little ox resting nearby. Peng Yun's appearance was like an interlude. After he left, Xiao Wu leaned against Lin Moyu and said,
Master, that guy seems a bit off.
Xiao Wu's intuition was sharp, but she had always been carefree, going smoothly in the great world, with everyone treating her well, so she didn't need to use her intuition. Lin Moyu smiled.
Tell me, what's off?
Xiao Wu said.
That guy said he wanted to take Xiao Yu as his disciple, but his gaze didn't look like that of a master looking at a disciple. It was more like looking at a piece of merchandise.
Lin Moyu nodded.
Your intuition is correct. He indeed had that intention. Moreover, he will likely come back.
Xiao Wu said.
By the time he comes back, we'll be long gone. He won't find us.
Lin Moyu shook his head.
He left a mark on the little ox. He can find us any time.
The little ox, who was resting, suddenly woke up.
What mark?
Lin Moyu smiled.
Someone left a mark on you just now. The other party is a heavenly venerate, so you won't find it.
The little ox exclaimed.
What should we do? Master, can you help remove the mark?
Lin Moyu said.
No need to worry. Just leave it. I want to see what he plans to do. People from the Qinyan sect like to wear green robes, right? Let's show them how ugly green robes can be.
Although Peng Yun had been polite, Lin Moyu sensed that he had other intentions. He didn't genuinely want to take Xiao Yu as a disciple. As Xiao Wu said, his gaze was more like looking at merchandise. Moreover, he had said something when he first saw Xiao Yu that made Lin Moyu feel Peng Yun had ulterior motives. The fact that he left a mark on the little ox indicated he would come back. Lin Moyu wanted to see what he planned to do. 2529, 2529. Chapter 2529. Just likes eating sour things. Under the light of the lunar origin, Xiao Yu's jade soul manifested, and she practiced her boxing techniques dozens of times. Lin Moyu could see that this practice session was extremely effective for Xiao Yu, equivalent to several dozen days of hard work. Especially with the breakthrough during practice and the awakening of her talent, it was an enormous gain. Xiao Yu took another big step towards the transcendent realm, gradually moving beyond the realm of ordinary people. The jade soul returned to her body, and Xiao Yu retracted her fists, exhaling a long breath before excitedly jumping up.
Master, I've awakened a talent.
Lin Moyu squinted his eyes and smiled.
What talent?
Xiao Yu said.
This talent is called fusion power. I can combine all my strength into one, and the resulting power is greater than the sum of the parts.
Xiao Yu explained her talent, which essentially allowed her to combine all her strengths, resulting in a power greater than the sum of its parts. Whether it's soul power, physical strength, cultivation power, or even the power of artifacts, as long as it's a power she controls, she can combine it into one. This means that Xiao Yu's explosive combat power will be quite astonishing. Generally, the nature of physical and soul power is different, making them hard to fuse. Not to mention the power of laws or artifacts, which are external forces and even more difficult to combine. But Xiao Yu not only fused them but also combined them into one. Lin Moyu said,
Try punching me.
Xiao Yu didn't hesitate and immediately punched towards Lin Moyu. She knew that with her strength, She couldn't possibly hurt Lin Moyu. After a round of testing, Lin Moyu confirmed the effect of Xiao Yu's fusion power talent. If Xiao Yu's current physical strength is 1 and her soul power is 2, then when she combines the two, the resulting power is about 6. It's not just the sum of the two but doubled again. Now it's only physical and soul power. When Xiao Yu advances further and touches upon laws, she can integrate the power of laws as well. When her cultivation level is higher, she can refine artifacts and integrate their power too. In this way, Xiao Yu's attack power can be significantly enhanced. Xiao Yu cheerfully said,
Master, how is my talent?
Lin Moyu patted Xiao Yu's head.
It's a good talent.
Xiao Wu, standing beside them, said enviously,
I also want a talent.
Lin Moyu laughed.
Don't you already have talents?
Xiao Wu exclaimed.
What talents do I have? I don't know.
Lin Moyu said.
Eating, drinking, playing, and having fun, you have 4 talents.
Lin Moyu's words made Xiao Yu laugh. Xiao Wu wasn't embarrassed at all.
Oh, right, I'm very good at those 4 talents.
Amidst the laughter, they continued their journey under the lunar origin. They crossed the wide cold river, heading northeast. Green mountains and clear waters, wisps of green mist turned into clouds, enveloping the high mountains. In the lush mountains, the Qingyun sect was situated. There were dozens of peaks reaching the clouds, each representing a heavenly venerate. In the center of all the peaks stood the main peak of the Qingyun sect, Qingyun Peak. Qingyun Peak, towering hundreds of thousands of meters, seemed to pierce the sky and reach the 9th heaven. The main hall of the Qingyun sect was at the peak, and the entire Qingyun Peak exuded a terrifying majesty. In the main hall, dozens of heavenly venerates were gathered, and the sect master, Qingyun Heavenly Venerate, sat at the head, exuding the pressure of a peak heavenly venerate. Qingyun Heavenly Venerate said in a low voice,
Pengyun, are you sure you didn't see wrong? It's really an innate jade soul?
Pengyun nodded.
No mistake, absolutely certain. Moreover, the girl is only about 15 or 16 years old and hasn't even reached the transcendent realm. Strictly speaking, she's still an ordinary person.
Hearing Pengyun's confirmation, the heavenly venerates present showed joy. One heavenly venerate said,
Elder Cayenne in the main sect has been looking for a suitable successor. If we can present this girl, the sect master will surely be rewarded. By then, if the sect master can cultivate in the main sect's spirit vein, with his talent, becoming a Dao Venerate will be a certainty.
Qingyun Heavenly Venerate looked at Pengyun.
Are you sure the girl's master is just a low-level Heavenly Venerate?
Pengyun replied,
I'm sure. Besides him, there's also a low-level Heavenly Venerate woman and a high-level Supreme Mount.
Qingyun Heavenly Venerate thought for a moment.
In that case, you take a few elders, disguise yourselves, and bring back the girl with the innate jade soul. Any elder willing to assist, please follow Elder Pengyun.
Qingyun Heavenly Venerate said and then left the hall. Pengyun smiled.
Elders willing to assist, please follow me.
He flew out of the hall, followed by several elders. Many elders were willing to assist. If they could bring back the girl and the sect master became a Dao Venerate, Pengyun would naturally be credited, and their contributions wouldn't be small either. Soon, Pengyun led his team out of the Qingyun sect, following the mark he had left, heading towards Lin Moyu's location. 9 heavenly venerates followed him, including 4 mid-level heavenly venerates. In his view, no matter how powerful Lin Moyu was, he was just a low-level heavenly venerate and couldn't stir up much trouble. Pengyun sensed the mark he had left and led his team swiftly towards their target. Crossing the cold river, Lin Moyu and his group continued northeast. The little ox moved quickly yet steadily. No matter the terrain, it moved as if walking on flat ground. Lin Moyu walked ahead of the little ox, seemingly slow but actually fast, covering hundreds of meters with each step, like teleportation. The little ox had to exert some effort to keep up with Lin Moyu's speed. At their current pace, they would leave the influence of the cold water Holy Land in about half a month. The lunar origin shone on Lin Moyu, casting a large silver light, making him look like an immortal under the moon. Xiao Wu and Xiao Yu whispered to each other. Xiao Wu told Xiao Yu stories from the great world. Having lived for tens of thousands of years, even with her carefree nature, she had many experiences to share, enough to captivate Xiao Yu. Suddenly, Lin Moyu stopped. The little ox also stopped immediately. Xiao Wu asked curiously,
Master, what's wrong?
Lin Moyu looked into the distance.
They're coming.
Xiao Wu's eyes widened.
They're really coming. Are they seeking death?
Lin Moyu laughed.
They don't think so. I'm just curious why they resort to violence when they can't take a disciple. Taking a disciple is a mutual agreement. Forcing it won't work.
Xiao Wu snorted.
Maybe they just like eating sour things.
Lin Moyu looked at Xiao Wu in surprise.
When did your eloquence improve so much?
Xiao Wu giggled.
It's all thanks to Master's teaching.
All right, not only has her eloquence improved, but her flattery skills have also advanced. Powerful auras appeared in his senses, and soon, under the lunar origin, figures emerged, flying aggressively towards them. 2,532,530. Chapter 2530. I really hate green robes. 4 mid-level heavenly venerates and 6 low-level heavenly venerates stood in the air, smiling as they looked at Lin Moyu and his group. Most of their gazes fell on Xiao Yu, who was so frightened that she hid behind Xiao Wu, not daring to show herself. Xiao Yu was just an ordinary person and found it difficult to withstand the pressure of the heavenly venerates, feeling extremely uncomfortable. Xiao Wu glared back at them with her big eyes, not afraid at all. Lin Moyu looked at the 10 people who had arrived, all wearing uniform green robes, and said in a low voice,
I told you, I don't like green robes.
Peng Yun laughed at Lin Moyu.
Dao's friend, we meet again. What I said before still stands. As long as you are willing to part with her, I am willing to pay a price.
Lin Moyu asked,
You don't really want to take a disciple. Tell me, what's your real purpose?
Peng Yun laughed heartily.
Dao's friend, you have sharp eyes. Indeed, it's not me who wants to take a disciple. The one who truly wants to take a disciple is Elder Cayenne of the Seven-Colored Sect. Unfortunately, Elder Cayenne has very high standards, and ordinary people do not catch her eye. This young girl with an innate jade soul is the best candidate. In fact, as long as you don't ask for too much, not only will you gain great benefits, but you might also earn Elder Cayenne's favor and join the Seven-Colored Sect. You should know that the elders of the Seven-Colored Sect are all Dao venerates.
Peng Yun had no hidden agenda and directly revealed his true intentions. So that's what it was. They wanted to use Xiao Yu to curry favor with some Elder Cayenne. Lin Moyu said,
What if I don't agree?
Peng Yun smiled.
Then I'm afraid I must apologize. I hope you will be more discerning in your next life. Some people you just can't afford to offend.
If he couldn't have her willingly, he would take her by force. Peng Yun made his intentions very clear. The 10 heavenly venerates, including Peng Yun, all smiled. A tremendous pressure, twisted into a single force, descended like a tidal wave. Lin Moyu waved his hand, and the brocade-clad lich flew out, landing on Xiao Yu. The Great Dao's protection shielded Xiao Yu. In case a fight broke out and she got hurt, although such a thing was unlikely, Lin Moyu took precautions just in case. Lin Moyu sighed.
Actually, I wasn't lying earlier. I really hate green robes.
He snapped his fingers, and the First Corps commander appeared in front of him. Peng Yun showed a hint of surprise.
A mid-level heavenly venerate puppet. No wonder you dared to ignore me. You really have some confidence. But what use is it? We have more than one mid-level heavenly venerate here.
Lin Moyu ignored Peng Yun and said to the First Corps commander,
Kill them, make it quick.
The First Corps commander saluted Lin Moyu.
As you command.
As soon as he finished speaking, the First Corps commander charged at Peng Yun and the others. Since Lin Moyu said to make it quick, he wouldn't waste any time. Peng Yun and the others smiled. One of the mid-level heavenly venerate elders laughed.
Just a mid-level heavenly venerate puppet. Let me handle it.
Before he could finish his sentence, the first corps commander revealed a rule world behind him. In an instant, countless dragon cavalry troops charged out from the rule world, densely packed, covering the sky and earth. The first corps commander deployed 100,000 dragon cavalry troops, surrounding Peng Yun and the others in layers. They couldn't even see the lunar origin, only the burning undead flames of the dragon cavalry troops. Every dragon cavalry soldier was a low-level heavenly venerate, exuding unparalleled terror. Peng Yun and the others' expressions changed drastically.
What's going on? How can there be so many heavenly venerate puppets? It's over, we're surrounded. Break through quickly.
The first corps commander didn't give them a chance. He raised his battle knife.
Death charge, death breath.
In an instant, the dragon cavalry troops simultaneously launched death charges. Although the close-range death charges were slightly weaker, they still posed a threat. The dragon cavalry troops, with their massive bodies and terrifying impact, charged at Peng Yun and the others without hesitation. At the same time, they breathed out death breath, igniting a sea of flames in the sky and earth. Peng Yun and the others took out their treasures and used their techniques to defend themselves. From the start of the battle, they were on the defensive. The first corps commander wasn't idle. He led several mid-level heavenly venerate captains to the front, raising his battle knife and shouting,
Bone battle formation.
The entire dragon cavalry troop raised their battle knives simultaneously, forming a bone battle formation.
Bone slash.
The bone law surged, and the bone battle formation turned into a giant battle knife, gathering the power of the entire formation and locking onto Peng Yun and the others.
Not good, block it.
Peng Yun screamed, taking out a turtle shell-like treasure that turned into a shield. The shield rapidly expanded, covering the area. The 10 quickly gathered behind Peng Yun's treasure. The bone slash fell on the shield, causing continuous explosions and cracks to appear on the shield. Peng Yun's face changed drastically.
We can't hold it.
Boom! The next second, the shield shattered, and the laws were destroyed. Peng Yun and the others were blasted apart, all injured, with Peng Yun being the most severely hurt. He quickly took out several pills and swallowed them, instantly recovering from his injuries. At this moment, another mid-level heavenly venerate shouted,
Follow me to break through.
He took out an umbrella-like treasure, which turned into a stream of light and charged outward. Wherever the stream of light passed, the dragon cavalry troops were pushed back. The heavenly venerates hid within the stream of light, following it to break through. But the number of dragon cavalry troops was overwhelming. After the treasure pushed through countless dragon cavalry soldiers, its speed began to slow. The heavenly venerates continuously injected power to maintain the forward momentum. Finally, the encirclement of the dragon cavalry troops became sparse, and they saw the lunar origin again. The heavenly venerate shouted,
We're almost out.
Their spirits lifted. As long as they could break through the encirclement, they would be free. The first corps commander let out a long howl, and the entire troop moved like waves, with the encirclement closing again.
Don't let them close in. Break through with all your might.
Peng Yun shouted, taking out a sharp sword and slashing forward, cutting down dozens of dragon cavalry soldiers. The other heavenly venerates followed suit, attacking to clear the way for the treasure. Finally, they broke through, escaping the encirclement of the dragon cavalry troops.
Go!
A heavenly venerate threw out a flying boat and jumped in, but he found that no one followed. Looking up, the lunar origin, which had just appeared, was once again covered by dark clouds. Upon closer inspection, it wasn't dark clouds, but an even larger number of dragon cavalry troops, covering the sky and earth. This time, there were so many that they couldn't even be counted. The first corps commander had deployed more dragon cavalry troops, exceeding 1 million, filling the sky and earth. They had only broken through a small encirclement, only to fall into an even larger one. Despair spread in their hearts. On the ground, Xiao Yu tilted her head, revealing her long, white neck like a beautiful swan. Xiao Yu exclaimed,
Master, why are there so many dragon cavalry troops?
Before Lin Moyu could answer, Xiao Wu shouted,
This is nothing, just 1/10. Stop watching and eat your snacks.
Xiao Wu had already prepared a lot of snacks, ready to be a spectator. 2531, 2531. Chapter 2531. The living are not as obedient as the dead. The heavenly venerates from the Qingyun sect had numerous treasures and were much harder to kill compared to those rogue heavenly venerates. Their combat power often surpassed that of some rogue heavenly venerates of the same level. If Lin Moyu had used the Skeleton King for targeted kills, he would have wiped them out long ago. But relying solely on the First Corps commander for a siege required some effort. After all, the Dragon Cavalry Corps was more suited for large-scale group battles. Dealing with just 10 heavenly venerates felt like using a cannon to kill mosquitoes. The First Corps commander once again deployed the Bone Battle Formation, this time even stronger than before.
Bone Star C.
The First Corps commander raised his battle knife and unleashed the Bone Star C. In an instant, the entire world was enveloped by the Bone Law, which evolved into countless weapons, slashing towards Peng Yun and the others. Peng Yun and the others resisted, but their bodies still trembled. Peng Yun shouted,
This law attacks the soul.
A mid-level heavenly venerate took out a triangular battle flag.
Protect me.
Several heavenly venerates immediately surrounded him, and he poured all his power into the battle flag. His aura rapidly declined, and within a short time, more than half of his mid-level heavenly venerate power was consumed. The triangular battle flag, however, grew immensely large in the wind. As the battle flag fluttered, a fierce wind arose, making it difficult for the dragon cavalry to stand firm. The heavenly venerate, having exhausted his power, took out several pills and swallowed them, recovering a bit. The battle flag enveloped the area, creating ripples of invisible force, preventing the Dragon Cavalry Corps from approaching.
Quite a treasure.
Lin Moyu looked at the battle flag, sensing it was no ordinary item. The First Corps commander continuously launched fierce attacks on the battle flag, but its defensive circle was extremely sturdy, making it difficult to break through. The heavenly venerates inside breathed a sigh of relief, each taking pills to recover. Lin Moyu knew that relying on the First Corps commander for a quick victory was unlikely. Heavenly venerates from sects were indeed different from rogue heavenly venerates. In the Origin Secret Treasury, those heavenly venerates died so easily. Miao Wen and Lian Cheng survived not by luck but by strength. These heavenly venerates from the Qingyun sect, a branch of the Seven-Colored sect, had ample resources, making them harder to kill. Lin Moyu didn't want to drag this out, fearing complications. With a light touch of his finger, the bone hell silently unfolded, enveloping the area around the battle flag. Countless hellish fiends rushed out, attacking the battle flag. When blocked, they began to gnaw frantically. Although the hellish fiends were only at the supreme level, they had the characteristic of devouring everything. Even heavenly venerate treasures could be worn down bit by bit. In some ways, the hellish fiends were more effective than the higher-level Dragon Cavalry Corps. The battle flag couldn't move and had to endure the gnawing of the hellish fiends. The Hellfire River erupted with countless flames, helping the hellish fiends consume the battle flag's power. No matter how strong the battle flag was, its power was finite. Even with slow attrition, it could be worn down. The heavenly venerates' faces changed dramatically.
What kind of spell is this? I've never seen it before. It looks like a death-type spell from the northwest region. The battle flag's power is being worn down. It won't last long. Prepare for a fierce battle.
Peng Yun sighed.
I underestimated the opponent's strength. It's my miscalculation.
Someone suggested,
Elder Peng Yun, can you try talking to the opponent again? Maybe we can resolve this as a misunderstanding.
Peng Yun shook his head slightly, feeling it was unlikely. Although their contact was brief, he had a good grasp of Lin Moyu's temperament. Lin Moyu was the type who either didn't act or went all out when he did. However, Peng Yun still wanted to try.
Taoist friend, can we discuss this? It was our mistake. If you could show mercy.
Lin Moyu interrupted him, his cold voice ringing out.
It's a matter of life and death.
Xiao Wu laughed from the side.
These people must be crazy. They're still trying to negotiate after such a fight.
The little ox added.
I think the master should make them slaves.
Lin Moyu laughed.
Of course, I'll take them, but not alive.
The little ox immediately said.
That's what I meant. The living are not as obedient as the dead.
Xiao Wu echoed.
Exactly, the living are not as obedient as the dead.
Xiao Yu, listening, was confused and didn't understand. Peng Yun's words were cut off, and they knew it was a fight to the death. Peng Yun said,
It's my fault this time. I'll burn my soul to help you break out of the encirclement. If any of us manage to escape, report to the sect master and ask the main sect elders to avenge us.
The others nodded solemnly. After 10 minutes, the battle flag finally collapsed. The hellish fiends pounced on them, and the heavenly venerates fought back, tearing apart the bone hell with their heavenly venerate power. Although the bone hell was shattered, the mark was completed. Lin Moyu flicked out a ball of undying flame, and majestic skeleton kings emerged from the hellfire, sitting on their thrones. Xiao Yu's eyes sparkled.
So powerful!
Xiao Wu explained.
These are skeleton kings, the master's signature spell.
Lin Moyu summoned 100 skeleton kings. Facing 10 heavenly venerates, regardless of their strength, each would face 10 skeleton kings, perfectly fair. Because of the dragon cavalry corps, the heavenly venerates hadn't noticed the skeleton kings. But they felt a chill in their hearts, sensing danger.
Break through!
Peng Yun roared, his body igniting with flames, his soul burning, pushing his aura to its peak. For a moment, Peng Yun's power almost surpassed a mid-level heavenly venerate, reaching the high-level heavenly venerate realm. At that moment, outside the encirclement, 100 skeleton kings raised their swords simultaneously. Spell, Bone Slash. The rule world appeared, and the bone law surged, stronger than the bone battle formation. Sword light flashed on the 10 heavenly venerates, followed by explosions. Their attempt to break through ended before it began, marked by their deaths. 6 low-level heavenly venerates died on the spot, their souls and bodies shattered by the sword light, with no survivors. They died without knowing how they were killed or where the attack came from. The sudden sword light ended their lives, their millennia of cultivation coming to an end. The 4 mid-level heavenly venerates were severely injured, losing their combat abilities and barely clinging to life. They fell to the ground, even losing the ability to fly. The first corps commander retracted the dragon cavalry corps and knelt before Lin Moyu.
I failed to complete the task. Please punish me, master.
Lin Moyu waved his hand.
Get up. It's not your fault. You did your best.
The lunar origin shone like mercury, bringing a slight chill, but it couldn't cool the hearts of Peng Yun and the others. They finally saw who had killed them. Majestic and terrifying skeleton kings, each a mid-level heavenly venerate, 100 in total. Peng Yun's voice trembled with fear.
Who are you? How do you have so many puppets?
Lin Moyu smiled.
You will know soon enough. Know soon enough?
Peng Yun and the others didn't understand Lin Moyu's words, but they didn't need to. Lin Moyu waved his hand, and an insect mother appeared in the air. Peng Yun screamed in terror.
An insect mother! You're from the insect race.
The other 3 also screamed.
The insect race! It's the insect race!
Lin Moyu shook his head.
Wrong answer. You deserve punishment.
2532, 2532. Chapter 2532. Let the insect race take the blame. The deadly battle ended, with 10 heavenly venerates arriving aggressively, only to leave behind a scene of blood and flesh. Apart from the 4 mid-level heavenly venerates, The remaining 6 were so mangled that it was impossible to distinguish who was who. Xiao Yu looked at the bloody scene, her face pale, clearly very unaccustomed to it. Knowing about death and seeing death are vastly different, with the sensory impact being completely different. Xiao Wu, with a carefree attitude, said,
"Look more, and you'll get used to it. After all, you'll see it often in the future."
The little ox added,
"Every strong person grows up stepping over mountains of corpses and seas of blood. This little scene is nothing."
Xiao Yu knew they were right and weakly nodded, forcing herself to look at the bloody scene despite her discomfort. Lin Moyu neither agreed nor disagreed. Xiao Wu was right. Seeing more of such things would make one accustomed to it. After a moment, Lin Moyu waved out a piece of undying flame. The undying flame devoured all the remaining corpses and blood. Xiao Yu felt strange.
Is Master helping them with cremation?
In her small memory, many people were cremated after death. Xiao Wu, munching on snacks, said,
"Of course not. Master is turning them into obedient dead people."
Obedient dead people. Under Xiao Yu's puzzled gaze, the dead heavenly venerates' flesh reassembled, and their souls were reborn. They were reborn as resurrected beings, returning to the world with the memories of their past lives. The 10 resurrected beings knelt uniformly before Lin Moyu, devout and respectful. Seeing this, Xiao Yu's eyes widened. She finally understood what it meant when they said the dead are more obedient than the living. Lin Moyu looked at Peng Yun and said,
"Tell me, what's going on?"
From beginning to end, Lin Moyu never believed Peng Yun and the others' words. There might be more to the story. Lin Moyu hadn't bothered to ask before because answers from the living might not be truthful. Answers from the dead, however, are more reliable. Peng Yun recounted the entire story, and after listening, Lin Moyu murmured,
"So they weren't lying."
Elder Cayenne of the 7-Colored sect had been searching for a disciple and successor. As a Tao venerate, her standards were extremely high, and she couldn't find a suitable candidate. Elder Cayenne even offered a reward within the sect. Anyone who could find a suitable disciple for her would be greatly rewarded. The sect master of the Qingyun sect, Qingyun Heavenly Venerate, had been stuck at the peak Heavenly Venerate level for many years. He believed the best way to advance was to train in the 7-Colored sect, receiving the blessings of their origin spirit vein. According to the 7-Colored sect's rules, training in their origin spirit vein required meeting many conditions. Peng Yun happened to encounter Xiao Yu, whose innate jade soul was an excellent talent for cultivation. If they could present Xiao Yu to Elder Cayenne, Qingyun Heavenly Venerate might be able to train in the 7-Colored sect and break through to the Tao Venerate realm. Although some details were slightly different, the overall story was accurate. In Lin Moyu's view, what Qingyun Heavenly Venerate truly lacked was fortune. The 7-Colored sect's origin spirit vein suppressed the fortune of the entire vein, including the Qingyun sect's fortune. With enough fortune, Qingyun Heavenly Venerate had a good chance of breaking through to Tao Venerate. At that point, the Qingyun sect could become a 4-star force, leading the 7 branches of the 7-Colored sect. If lucky, Qingyun Heavenly Venerate might even enter the main sect, becoming an elder with greater authority.
People die for wealth, birds die for food. It seems your fortune has run out.
Qingyun Heavenly Venerate's long-standing inability to break through suggested that the Qingyun sect's fortune was weak. However, it shouldn't be the case, as the 7-Colored sect's spirit vein was strong, and its fortune should be sufficient for its branches. Why this situation occurred might only be understood by seeing it firsthand. Lin Moyu couldn't see fortune, but Xiao Wu could. A look from her would clarify everything. Lin Moyu opened his rule world and threw the 10 heavenly venerates to the human emperor. From them, he could also obtain a lot of information about the origin continent. The human emperor was currently organizing information about the origin continent, and the more complete the information, the better. After dealing with everything, Lin Moyu used the time law to erase all traces of his presence before setting off again. He slightly changed his direction, erasing all traces of his aura, making it impossible to track him. The origin alternated, the moon set, and the sun rose. A day after Lin Moyu left, At the interchange of the sun and moon origins, Qingyun Heavenly Venerate arrived with his group. They found the place where Peng Yun had died. Someone held a compass-like treasure and said solemnly,
"This is where Elder Peng Yun and the others were last seen."
Another Heavenly Venerate elder closed his eyes to sense, his face changing slightly.
"Sect Master, the aura here is strange, not human." "Not human?"
An elder took out a treasure, which flew around the place where Peng Yun and the others had died, seemingly collecting something. Finally, the treasure returned, projecting a phantom image of an insect mother.
"Insect mother! It's the insect race!"
The group was shocked. Encountering the insect race in the southern continent was extremely rare. The insect race usually operated in the western continent, occasionally clashing with the dragon race in the northern continent. Even if they appeared in the eastern continent, it wouldn't be surprising, as the eastern continent is chaotic with all sorts of occurrences. But encountering the insect race in the southern continent was a rare event in the long history of the origin continent. The insect race rarely came to the southern continent, and their appearances here could be counted on one hand. Qingyun Heavenly Venerate's face darkened. After some investigation, he confirmed that the aura left here was indeed from the insect race. In other words, Peng Yun and the others were killed by the insect race. Apart from the aura here, all other traces had been erased, making tracking impossible. Even if tracking were possible, Qingyun Heavenly Venerate wouldn't pursue it. Who knew what level those insect race members were? If they were at his level, he would be walking into a trap. Qingyun Heavenly Venerate said,
"It seems we can only report this to the main sect and ask the elders to investigate."
Involving the insect race, Qingyun Heavenly Venerate didn't dare make decisions on his own and decided to shift the responsibility to the main sect. Another elder suggested,
"Sect Master, we can also inform Elder Cayenne about the innate Jade Soul. Although we couldn't present the person, providing the lead is still a small merit."
Qingyun Heavenly Venerate nodded.
"I will. Let's go back."
Everyone knew that Elder Peng Yun and the others had likely died in vain. The insect race wouldn't reason with them, and revenge was out of their hands. Half a day later, 3 Tao Venerates from the main sect of the Seven-Colored Sect, carrying powerful auras, flew out, cutting through the sky at incredible speed to the place where Peng Yun and the others had died. Among the 3 Tao Venerates, 2 were men and 1 was a woman. One of the Tao Venerates was Lin Moyu's old acquaintance, Tao Venerate Wei Xian. Tao Venerate Wei Xian had a treasure that could perform time reversal. The female Tao Venerate among them, shrouded in mist, was Elder Cayenne. Elder Xian's voice was soft and clear.
"It is indeed the aura of the insect race. I didn't expect the insect race to appear in the southern continent. This is rare. Should we report this to the Holy Land?"
Tao Venerate Wei Xian took out the time treasure.
"No rush. Let's take a look first."
2533 2533. Chapter 2533. But there is no divine city. After a little more than a day, Lin Moyu and his group had traveled a great distance. When Wei Xian used the time treasure, Lin Moyu sensed it. Lin Moyu smiled slightly, knowing that Wei Xian would get no results. He had long erased the time imprint, leaving only the aura of the insect race, and nothing else could be discovered. The reason he summoned the insect mother to kill Peng Yun and the others was to cover his own tracks. The aura of the insect race was strong, and its presence naturally diverted attention. He wasn't afraid of the Qingyun sect, but he didn't want to confront the Seven-Colored Sect for now. Facing a Tao Venerate would be very troublesome. Half a day later, a powerful aura flew in from the distance. Lin Moyu said in a low voice,
"I'll send you into the real world."
With a wave of his hand, he sent Xiao Yu and the others back into the real world, continuing to walk alone on the ground. After a while, a Tao Venerate flew over Lin Moyu's head.
"Judging by his attire, he should be a Tao Venerate from the Seven-Colored Sect. It seems they couldn't find enough information."
Lin Moyu watched the Tao Venerate fly away, his heart clear. The people from the seven-colored sect obviously couldn't find any clues and, unwilling to give up, were searching separately. The Tao Venerate speed was fast, and their search range would be vast, but they still wouldn't find anything. Moments later, after confirming there were no problems, Lin Moyu released Xiao Yu and the others. Xiao Yu asked cautiously,
Master, did I cause you trouble?
Lin Moyu smiled.
Some things are destined to happen, sooner or later. It has nothing to do with what you did.
Xiao Yu seemed to understand.
Just like how meeting you was destined, right?
Lin Moyu laughed.
That's called fate. Fate is a strange thing, unpredictable. You don't need to worry too much about it. Just let things happen naturally.
Xiao Yu nodded. Though she didn't fully understand Lin Moyu's words, she obediently remembered them. Xiao Wu added,
Master means you can do whatever you want. If there's a problem, Master will handle it for us.
Lin Moyu flicked his finger, and a phantom finger appeared in front of Xiao Wu, tapping her forehead. Xiao Wu clutched her head and cried out,
Master, why did you hit me again? Because you speak without thinking.
Lin Moyu said softly. Xiao Wu was clearly dissatisfied but didn't dare to argue. She knew from experience that arguing would only get her hit again. Just as Lin Moyu expected, Wei Xian ultimately found no answers. However, they were certain that the incident was related to the insect race. The seven-colored sect couldn't handle the insect race on their own, so they reported the matter to the Coldwater Holy Land for resolution. Elder Cayenne of the seven-colored sect, upon hearing about the innate jade soul, began a large-scale search. The entire seven-colored sect was mobilized to find the person with the innate jade soul. After traveling for several days, they had left the influence of the Coldwater Holy Land and the seven-colored sect. Finally, they saw a large city named Lei City. From a distance, Lei City was covered by thunderclouds, with countless bolts of lightning forming a sea of thunder. Above the sea of thunder, there seemed to be a thunder palace standing tall. Lei City was a large city, completely different from Guanhai City and Linhai City. The biggest difference was that Lei City had teleportation arrays. On the origin continent, the space is too stable. Even cultivators who master space laws, like Lin Moyu, cannot open space gates to travel billions of miles instantly. Breaking the spatial restrictions on the origin continent to establish teleportation arrays is extremely difficult and costly. Therefore, only large cities have teleportation arrays, and even then, the distance they cover is limited. Lin Moyu knew that besides these public teleportation arrays, there were also sex-specific teleportation arrays called spirit vein teleportation arrays. These arrays use the veins of origin spirit veins for teleportation. For example, the Coldwater Holy Land can use their spirit vein to teleport directly to cities where the vein is located. This is how the Coldwater Holy Land could quickly reach Linhai City, relying on their spirit vein teleportation array. However, such teleportation arrays are entirely controlled by the Coldwater Holy Land, and even the Blue family of Linhai City had no access to them. The Holy Land could reach Linhai City directly, but Linhai City couldn't teleport to the Holy Land. Lei City similarly had an independent origin spirit vein, not belonging to the Coldwater Holy Land. Relying on this origin spirit vein, Lei City became a large city, renowned across the origin continent. Even people from other regions knew of Lei City, especially the Lei family within the city, known for their talent in manipulating thunder, making them extremely powerful. The Lei family in Lei City was almost as strong as the seven-colored sect, with occasional conflicts and mixed victories. Arriving in Lei City meant leaving the influence of the seven-colored sect. Upon entering Lei City, the human emperor quickly organized information about the city and presented it to Lin Moyu. The heavenly venerates from the Qingyun sect provided detailed information about Lei City. Even if there were gaps, the human emperor could piece it together from various sources. As old rivals, the Qingyun sect and Lei City had clashed many times over the years. Often, one's greatest understanding comes from their opponent. Before even entering the city, Lin Moyu had a rough outline of Lei City and the Lei family. Accompanied by the sound of thunder, they entered Lei City. As they entered, the thunder stopped, Looking up, they could see lightning but hear no sound. A massive formation covered Lei City, extremely powerful, almost impossible to resist below the heavenly venerate level. If the formation were fully activated, it could even threaten heavenly venerates. Strangely, while the formation blocked most of the lightning's light, it allowed the light and power of the sun and moon origins to pass through, illuminating every corner of Lei City. Walking through the streets of Lei City, they saw tall buildings everywhere, with cultivators coming and going. Supremes were common, and heavenly venerates could be seen if one looked carefully. Xiao Yu was amazed.
Lei City is much bigger than Lehigh City.
The city's size was evident in many aspects, not just its area but also the grandeur of its buildings.
Let's eat something.
Lin Moyu said, finding a restaurant named Listening to Thunder. He and Xiao Wu didn't need to eat, but Xiao Yu did. Xiao Yu needed to eat food from the origin continent, which contained origin energy beneficial for her growth. Once Xiao Yu reached the transcendent realm, she could use origin energy instead of food. The restaurant was bustling, and they found a table. The little ox, having shrunk in size, joined them. In the origin continent, mounts often ate at the table, so this wasn't unusual. After ordering, Xiao Yu continued to marvel at the city, eventually exclaiming,
"What a big city."
Xiao Wu, also observing Lei City, was less impressed.
"It's big, but not as big as the Divine City."
Xiao Yu asked,
"What's the Divine City?"
Xiao Wu explained,
"The Divine City is the main city of the human race in the rural world, about 10 times the size of Lei City."
Xiao Yu's eyes sparkled.
"That big? I'd love to see it."
Xiao Wu suggested,
"Ask Master to take you there."
At that moment, a mocking voice interrupted.
"Comparing Lei City to a city in the rural world? That's ridiculous."
A girl of about 15 or 16 glared at Xiao Wu with dissatisfaction. 2534, 2534.